This is why you should forgive yourself. In the Four Agreement by Don Miguel, he said, when you forgive your parents, your friends, God, and yourself, you're able to fully walk into self acceptance. And I couldn't agree more. Before we get into it, what is self forgiveness? Self forgiveness is defined as the practice that involves acknowledging past mistakes and perceived failures that could have led to negative emotions and consequences. Have you not noticed that when you hold on to a grudge, an unpleasant experience, or past mistakes you've made, you're continuously inflicting yourself with the pain of yesterday? You have the choice today to let it go. When you do practice self forgiveness, you're able to release any form of shame and guilt that could have prevented you from moving forward. And I want to remind you today that you're not your mistake. You're not the bad decision that you made in the past. You know, the Word of God talks about how we should love our neighbor as we love ourselves. But the truth of the matter is that we cannot fully forgive someone else if we do not forgive ourselves first. How can you give to others what you don't have? If you tell me today that you can forgive someone for what they did to you and you've not forgiven yourself for your own past mistakes or experiences, then I'll say you're a liar. I would say, look well internally. Have you really forgiven that person that you said you've forgiven, or are you lying to yourself? Let's be real. Let's just be honest. I think it's so important that we're honest with ourselves rather than being deluded. I'm sure you must have batted an eye when I said forgive God. Yes, I said forgive God. Because you know what? A lot of people, they tend to say, oh, you know, if God existed, if he truly was there in heaven, why does it allow evil happen? Or even sometimes believers, Christians might be like, oh, but I asked God to come through for me in this season. I asked him to provide me with this. I asked him to heal my sick auntie or grandma, and he did not do it. And sometimes they hold up this resentment and bitterness against God. And a lot of the times they're unable to move forward because they have the wrong perspective of God. But when you forgive God, you're able to have the right perspective of who He is, His real character. When you get to know God, you know that God is truly a loving soul. He is love. Here are 5 reasons you should forgive. I will keep it simple. It contributes to your personal growth. It can replace an old paradigm or perspective that did not work well for you, that was probably keeping you stuck, and changes that to a new system of how you see things, and you're able to move forward. Number 2, it helps you step into self acceptance by fully accepting your weaknesses and your strengths. Don't we all love to, reveal our strengths or the good side of us? Most of the time, we like to hide our weaknesses because we feel embarrassed of them. But when we forgive ourselves, when we practice that self forgiveness, we're able to fully accept who we are, understanding and knowing that our weaknesses is a point in which we can grow in. We can ask God to help us grow in those spaces. It doesn't mean that we're bad people. Everyone has their weaknesses, everyone has their flaws. Number 3, it helps you forgive others. It helps you to become more gracious towards people because, like I said, you cannot give to others what you don't have. So when you begin to practice that self-forgiveness, you're able to forgive others quickly because you recognize that we're humans and we have flaws. So why penalize another man for a different sin from yours? Number 4, it improves your relationships. You're able to not project all pain and experiences into the present. Number 5, it improves your mental health. When you let go of your old mistakes and choices that you've made in the past, instead of ruminating about them, they take up space in your head. So when you let go of it, you're able to channel your focus and your energy into things that matters. You're able to clear up space in your head and think better and make better choices. You're able to understand the lesson of the past into the future and be like, you know what? I made this decision previously. I'm not going to make that decision again because clearly the consequence and what was the outcome was not ideal. So why not make the choice to forgive yourself today?